guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Shelly, and today's Shelly's hot topic is gonna be about autistic parents. What I have found is they are either all in or all out. What do I mean by that, right? I have found that you've either got those helicopter parents that don't even let these kids breathe, or they're just out. I mean, you do have your midways like myself, but for the most part, most parents are either all in or all out. And here's the thing, and I have found that in the group that I used to help organize, it's always the moms that are usually kind of all in and donating all the time and putting all the effort, right? And yeah, and the step parents, right? When I met my husband, my daughter was 6 years old, and he helped raise her, and him and I both helped her purchase a home 5 blocks away. And she lives on her own. He actually purchased her car. So, yeah, I've been really lucky. I found someone who helps, who's all in with me, I guess, so to speak. And the reason this came to light to me is my daughter was dating a boy who was autistic, as she was. And, and they were living together. Nice boy, not a bad kid, nice kid. Long story short, the relationship doesn't work out, right? That happens in neurotypical or neurodivergent, just that happens. So it was time for him to leave, right? Well, his mom's like, well, he can't come here. I don't understand what that means. What do you mean he can't come there? It's like, it's your kid, right? Now, I'm not sure what that dynamic was. Her attitude was, oh, well, the thought of bringing him back here, there's too much tension or uncomfortable. And I thought to myself, that poor kid, right? My kids, my autistic daughter or my daughter who's not autistic, they call me, you want to come home? Girl, you come home 3 a.m. I don't care. I'll do your laundry. Like, I can't imagine telling your child, and no matter what the situation is, you're coming home. You're my baby, you come home. You need to come home, you come on home. So when her attitude was like, well, where's he going? And I'm like, well, I don't know where he's going, but I know where he's staying, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about in the streets, but it was like, I felt like she was kind of pushing him on me and my husband, right? Like, no, that's not a thing. It's your kid. So the responsibility for our children, whether they're autistic or not, I don't feel like ends. And by that, I mean, in my mind, helping our children never ends. My mother was there for me, God love her, God rest her, and my father right up till the day they passed. I mean, of course, I took care of them and that type of thing. But the point I'm trying to make is, like, you don't spike that ball when you have a kid, in my mind. You're always there for them. I mean, good or bad. They're your kids, right? So her attitude was just, well, he can't come here. She more or less like, I don't know what I'm telling you. And I was like, well, I was really taken aback because in my mind, like, that's your son. He's autistic. At the end of the day, what do you want me to drop him off the homeless shelter? Like, in other words, you can't force him on me and my child and my husband, for whatever your reasons are. I'm sorry for that. But to tell me, like, basically he's not coming here. Well, girl, it's going to be the homeless shelter. I don't want to hurt the kid, but I'm not going to carry him because you as a mom or dad or whatever don't want to take that responsibility. I feel bad for the kid. It's terrible, right? Feeling like your parents don't want you. Like, I can't even entertain that. And it's a nice boy. We're not talking about a bad kid. You think I'd have some crazy old kid around my kid? No, he's a nice boy. He's clearly autistic. He has some issues like my child, but yeah, it just didn't work out, and that's okay. I mean, they're parting friends. It's an amicable situation, but their attitude is, well, we don't know if we want him back. What you mean you don't know? What you mean? Like, but girl, I'll put him in your driveway. So I'm not sure. That's crazy, right? I mean, can you imagine just someone telling you, like, well, no, I don't want him back here. well, I don't understand. I'm laughing because it's so ridiculous to me. I mean, you moms with autistic kids probably understand what I'm saying. Like, what you mean? Like, listen, my other daughter, she can come over here and bring her laundry and bring a little basket and load up groceries. Like, that's how we roll. Like, I can't imagine. Listen, we used to go into my mom's house. True story. Me, my sister, my brother. Every morning we'd go in there. We'd have breakfast and coffee. My mom would making breakfast. We're dropping our kids off, picking them up, having a big bowl of stew or pasta. Like, I can't fathom telling my kid, well, I don't know if you can live here. What? Like, my kids can, as long as I'm breathing, they got a place to live, right? But I have found that with autistic kids, now I say autism because that's my thing. My daughter's autistic. I'm sure it may be true with other disabilities. That some parents just think they spike the ball and walk away. I don't know if they don't want to face their kid is going to need help. I don't know if they get, angry or frustrated or what that whole thing is about. But that's your child, right? No matter what. And my child is autistic. My husband and I we're taking steps to make sure that when our time comes, someday we all, God willing, go to heaven. That's my prayer, right? So when we go, I'm taking steps to make sure my child's taken care of. She's got her 2 older sisters and she's got cousins and aunts and uncles. And, even my grandson, he's 12. He's like, oh, don't worry, Mamie, I'll take care of Aunt B. It's like, I want to make sure she has people to turn to that love her no matter what is going on. So do you guys know anyone like that who just has that, oh no, not my problem? Like, yeah, it's your problem. I just don't understand that. And like I said, he's a good boy. We're not talking about some crazy kid out stealing or whatever, He's a good boy. I don't understand. So I'm just frustrated, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So have you guys ever experienced that? Do you have that, or do you know someone who has a child with special needs or an autistic child who's just like, they, and then don't get me wrong, you have the other way too, where they're so on top of them, the kid can't breathe, There's another young man from my group that I used to be involved with. He's got to hide where he goes from his mom. That boy's 23 or 24 years old. And he's not allowed to tell her he's seeing certain people because mommy thinks they're bad influences or whatever. It's like, dude, like he's not allowed to display any adult feelings, dating or whatever. His mom gets, out there. So it's like, I know there's both sides, but I would rather that side of helicopter mom than I don't give a crap mom. I remember when I first was involved with this group, there's parents who drop their kids off and leave. Man, they think we're babysitter. And I get how bad it can get. I know that. I know a lot of people with autistic children, and you need that respite, right? You need that decompression time. You got to be able to walk away from that situation. I get that. But when they're adults like this and they're trying to find their way and they're trying to navigate, just the, for him to call and say, hey, mom, it didn't work out with so-and-so and I'm going to be moving home. And she's like, nah, I don't think so. I don't know if you can come here. What? Like, what? And to tell me, basically, you got to keep my kid. Girl, I didn't give birth to him. So, I'll do what I can for the kid, but, come on, I got my own stuff going on. So, anyway, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced anything like that or seen anything like that. I think that's terrible to make a child feel that way. And it's a fine line for me. I'm trying to navigate that so he doesn't feel hurt or unwanted or whatever that case is. So, anyway, I was just curious. Have you guys ever experienced anything like that? And do you see that parents are either all in or all out? Yes, the midway is the optimum. We see a lot of that. But boy, some of them are just all out or all in, right? Anyway, if you want more of Shelly's thoughts, please subscribe so you don't miss what's going on up in my noggin. God forbid you miss that. And let me know what you think. Let me know if you ever seen this type of you know, I don't know, sadness going on. To me, it's sad telling that kid, I don't know if you can come home. You know, it's just, I don't know. It just hits me in the feels, you know. Anyway, that's my thought. And you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.